Peace, family. This is Boy Gerald. It is the 12th of April, 2020. How is everybody doing? I'm just sitting on my porch right now. Hopefully you can hear the birds in the background. Sun is out, partly cloudy, and the weather is cooperating. Now, you know I got love for each and every one of y'all. But I was quite surprised how some were shocked that after 3.5 years, soon to be 3.5 years, I made the decision to once again cut my locks off. And I'm going to tell you one of the underlying reasons why I did that. About 2 days ago, it was kind of late, and I went out to the garage because, you know, we had this little cold snap come through here. And I'm out in the garage, and as I'm out in the garage, I'm looking at all the things that I have in my garage. Y'all know I got the heavy bag, I got the power tower, and I got my stuff. I got some stuff in there. And while I was standing in my garage at that moment, as it was silent, I had an epiphany. And that epiphany spoke to my spirit. My spirit was saying, behold, take note, everything that you survey, for it is a representation of your existence. Though it is of physical form, it is temporary. Now is the time to grow. And I didn't know why that thought resonated in my spirit, but I listened. And it was at that moment, collectively, as I was pondering what has been going on throughout the nation, throughout the world, throughout our communities. I'm in a town near you, in a city near you, in a state near you. The living constant is there are people that are mourning. There are people that are trying to figure it out. There are people that are at the point where things are getting real, Maybe because now it's causing you to assess your future, to look at your finances, because a lot of it is finances, because your finances is what gives you access to the things that you desire, but more importantly, what you need. So how's that tie into me going into the garage, standing in the middle of the garage and just looking around? Cold, quiet. And I was like, if for some reason it was the said moment in time where my existence has ended, everything that is here would be here. I would not. And as I was looking at the things that I've proverbially collected, because that's life, you grow. Some things stay behind and other things continue on. It was at that moment that I was like, you know, the one thing that has been evident through these last couple of weeks is we're being given an opportunity to assess what matters most, to truly look at what has priority compared to what may just serve, you know, and you know, not to go deeper on it, it's just, it made me realize that, you know, now more than ever, everything's temporary. And, you know, not to sound crass, you know, even the media, in regards to what we consume as entertainment, they've got shows like Miracle Makeover and Hoarders, and, you know, and the common theme is how it got to that point. What was the linchpin that pretty much sparked the impulse for that person to possess it? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I thought about it. And then that next day, as I mentioned in the last video, I got up, looking in the mirror, and I said, you know, I love my life. I love the blessings that have been afforded. I humbly respect the protection that has been given spiritually from unnecessary pain and frustration. And as I looked, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm saying to myself, dang, I can't believe it. I'm 51. You know? When you're younger, family, for those who are in their 20s, when you look at your timeline, you can't get to a point, you don't even equate to how far your life and the experiences that make your life will take you. Or better yet, give you the ability to see, even in disappointment, what you are going to see, you know? And it was at that moment, I was like, it's time. It's time. And I think one of the things that I had really thought about was the fact that, you notice in social media, not too many people putting selfies out these days, huh? And the one thing that a lot of people can agree with is the importance of the people that you have in your life. And with that, I'm talking about the people that enhance your life, like your barbers, your hairstylists, for you queens, your nail techs, you know, the things that are roles that other people feel to enhance you, so that the best you can be presented as you step out your door. And I kind of got a little bit of pushback, and I have people close to me say, don't do that. Don't. You've put so much time and energy in your hair. Once you cut it, you can't put it back. And at that same moment, family, you know what crossed my mind? Cheers. You know, I'm drinking my coffee. You know what crossed my mind? I was thinking about the song that R&B songstress India Ari put out about 4 years ago. I think it's about 4 years now. And it was called I Am Not My Hair. It is just a reflection of who you are underneath your core, your spirit. And it was at that time, I was like, all right. I grew it once. I cut it. I grew it again. And at that time, I was said, you know what? If God wants me to have long hair, He'll afford me the opportunity to let my health and allow my hair follicles to flourish in the intended time. And then I went bzzz, from the back. Taking my time so that when I raised my clippers, because I have a couple sets, and because I try to at least keep my face managed, you know. And it took me about maybe 30 minutes. Cut everything off. Everything. And that was 2 days ago, and already you can see that my hair is growing back. It's growing back. And which is fine, because one of the things I've always been aware of is that when you look at someone's hair, the definition that it puts out, it's, you know, how it looks, is entirely based off of two things. Your diet, such as the vitamins that are in your body, the water consumption, as well as how healthy your hair is, your hair follicles. Because if those follicles are blocked because it's not conditioned correctly, well, that's what causes baldness. Now, King, you know I love you. And I will tell you this. One thing that I also made a decision not to do as I started really nurturing my hair was I left my hairline alone. Because for especially a lot of people, if you go through a phase where you're going to start rocking your hair, rocking your hats, and that's fine. That's fine. But if your hair follicles, your scalp, is not properly able to breathe, guess what? It'll die. It'll die, and it won't come back. Another thing is, if you're wearing hats on a regular basis, if it's not properly fitted, it's like having sandpaper on your skin. And even though that you may have, you may not have it, aggressively on your head, when you move, it rubs your skin so that hair follicle doesn't have a chance to regenerate. Because everything about your body has hair on it. Everything. Even though you may not see it, there's hair there. It's there. So, yeah, I made the decision to go ahead and cut it. So, here's the funny part. Because I love each and every one of you. I saw some of them comments y'all put. And that just tickled me. That tickled me. It did. But it also validates that you guys have my best interest. And I thank you for that. I thank you for that. You know. And now going on 7.5 years, I put these videos out especially for you. Now, there's going to come a time you're all going to have your aha moment. And everything will make sense. But it's also having to do in regards to a new direction and new chapter. And when I'm ready to step out and drop the proverbial veil, you're going to be like, wow. And just know, I'm telling you this now, this is what God does. This is what stepping out in faith is all about. And I told you, and I say this with love, not everybody's supposed to know your story. Not everybody's going to know your middle name. Not everybody is going to earn the right to walk with you. And that's okay. That's totally okay. But just know, just like Natalie Stewart from the group Floor Tree said in a song that she put out called Breathe. If you've never heard the song, it's called Breathe. There's a verse in there that she says the same thing. And she says, at the end, they'll be glad that they got a chance to know you, to know your story. Because everything that we do, directly or indirectly, has an influence, good or bad. But one thing that we can agree upon is this. You cannot run from your truth. You cannot run from your actions. And guess what? All things done in the dark, all things done behind scenes, it will be seen. And we will all be called to justify it, as well as we have to own what we do. Because that's what life is about. Let me tell you something. You ain't got to look too far. May it be, like I said, as I always say, a town near you, city near you, state near you, nationally or internationally. There's a lot of gut check moments going on right now. There's a lot of people right now that wish they could have yesterday back. Let that sink in. I mean, this ain't nothing new. I've been speaking this for years. You realize how many people that financially got themselves together would trade all that just to have another moment with that significant person that they don't have access to because they've transcended? Now, I'm not trying to sound morbid. I'm just saying, sometimes things happen that will force change, that will force progression. to motivate you to take your rightful place. Keep that in mind. Now, we're going to get through all this. And actually, if I could put a spin on it, because I know my viewers are some of the most dedicated, most intelligent people that you could ever share a conversation or a moment with. I already know that because you guys are here. And I thank you for that. And just before I hit play or record, I had another epiphany cross my mind. Because I'm still baffled, family, about how if someone had told me the children would be home, there would be no in-school curriculum going on, there would be no graduations and proms occurring in 2020, I would have looked at them like, you crazy. But that's the reality. That's the reality. And the one sentiment that has been echoed through all that's going on is we all got to do our part. We all have to invest in ourselves. We all have to put the work in. Excuse me. No, I'm good. That's just phlegm. That's just D's. But you know, like right now, some of y'all don't know, but I revealed it a couple of days ago. For the last almost 3.5 weeks, I've been nursing a shoulder and a neck injury, and I might need surgery to repair it. I'm just waiting to get seen by an orthopedic specialist, but I'm not worried about it. I ain't worried about that either, because I know the end goal is to make me better than what I was. And I can truly tell you, family, this summer is going to be the most phenomenal summer for everybody. And I can't wait to show it from my perspective, because some of y'all are going to be blown away. I just want you to understand that this was God's doing, okay? I am a servant just like you are. And I know that it is about walking in blind faith. That's what it's about. Trust Him no matter how crazy things may be, or it may seem to be. Because that's nothing but an illusion to distract you from where you need to be. And that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. We're going to be fine. I mean, think about it this way, fam. This is something that crossed my mind just before I decided to start recording. And I was like, you know, if anything besides awareness of the importance of your health is being projected indirectly or directly, you know what else is being afforded to everybody? Time. Maybe this is the moment, family, that one project that you've wanted to accomplish, you've wanted to tackle, you got no excuse not to do it. I'll do you one better. You know, you hear it every year. People say, well, you know, I got to do my spring cleaning. Well, maybe this is the moment that you're going to do that said cleaning, starting with your emotional self first, because it is about mind, body, spirit. If your mind's not right, your body's not going to react right. And if your body is not reacting right because your mind's not in sync, you're not going to make the proper decisions that you need for yourself. But maybe this is also that moment that you said, well, if I ever get that amount of time to do blank, whatever blank is, well, here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity. But not to be winded, shout out to those people that are still getting up every day, because your occupation requires you to step out your door and embrace this environment. Please be safe. We want you to return the same way you left out, safe, blessed, and aware. But I would be remiss not to say a prayer and send blessings to those who unfortunately lost loved ones through this whole period of time. My heart goes out to each and every one of you. Maybe if you have family or friends that are being affected to what's going on due to this pandemic. So if anything, that should also send a message to each and one of us of how important your mortality is. You don't have time for no BS, family. You ain't got time for no drama. Remember, misery loves company. You know, as I mentioned before, misery is like an endless table that have chairs waiting to be filled, because the moment that you decide to sit down, nothing changes until you get up. So, on a lighter note, yeah, I'm going back to my temper tapers. Eventually, I will allow my hair to grow back. I don't plan on cutting it. But I don't know, I'm thinking about maybe just let it be curly and just letting my hair do its thing. But I can show you better than I can tell you. And for those who may be thinking about taking a different approach in regards to your hair health, if you don't have this already in your arsenal, invest in biotin, invest in zinc, invest in magnesium, because zinc and magnesium is what feeds the hair shaft, is what produces keratin that makes the root healthy. I mean, you could start off with a simple multivitamin, prenatal. You know, that's, I know some of you kings like, prenatal, man, that's what they take for when they're pregnant. Well, think about it. That's why you see when our queens are in the process of development, their hair grows. Their skin grows. Their nails, you know, grow significantly from the inside out. So, you know, but on a different note, for those those who are trying to better themselves. I was wondering where you hear that buzzing. That's the carpenter bee right there. He can't see it, but right there. You know, but he guess he wants to be on too. When it comes to just overall prevention, iron, zinc, iodine pills is good for your white blood cells, which is also good for your lungs. Seaweed. Get back to eating your beans, your nuts, greens. You know, look at that food pyramid. It's been there since kindergarten, but it's real. Because think about it. It was said everything that man needs comes from the earth. Everything. And eventually, we too will go back to the earth. So, I look forward to what these next couple of months are going to show us. I'm smiling because I can't wait to show you another aspect of my walk. Because I'm going to tell you right now, some of y'all going to have to pick your face up. I say that with love. Some of y'all going to be like, what? Just know, when God calls, you listen. I love each and every one of you. Look forward to hearing from you. All in all, I am well. Health-wise, I am well, minus the fact, like I said, I've got to get my shoulder. I think I've got a rotator cuff. They've already said I've got an impingement, but I may have a bicep tear too. And I've got, as of 2 weeks ago, they already identified that I've got 2 pinched nerves in my lower neck. So it's a chain reaction to the injury. So I'm just waiting I'm waiting on the paperwork from my job to come back, and then once I get the okay, I can go get seen by an orthopedic specialist. Even though with COVID-19 is the paramount right now, you know, once I got that, and of course your health, not a factor, they will see you. Just gotta be patient, gotta hold on, and it'll happen. So from me to you, y'all be killing me with them comments. But you know what's funny though? Not to be winded, I remember the first time I made the decision to cut my dreads. That was 6 years ago. Yeah, it was about 6. And 50% of the comments was, why'd you cut your hair? And the other 50% was, I'm glad you cut your hair. And I was like, well, if anything, this is an example that if I can grow it, you can too. There's nothing keeping you, because it's your crown. It's only an extension of what's found behind that smile, behind that beautiful mind, and your temple. So, what excuse you got? I don't think you do. Stay blessed, stay aware, stay protected. But when it's all said and done, just stay you. Be blessed, fam. Peace.